Beat a bit of Rolling Stones to start the day. All down the line. Down, 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 down. It's made it a right shit show worse. After what started off as yet another beautiful Picos morning, soon turned into what was to become a litany of technical problems that carried on into the next day, the first being the abrupt loss of sound from my helmet mic. This meant I was totally dependent on my bar camera for any sound at all, and that would only be ambient noise. And because I wasn't aware this had happened, left me talking to myself for, well, all of the morning. The sound does return later when I exchange the memory card, but for now you'll have to rely on my voiceovers as I edit the video. Today we're heading over to the mountain village of Traviso, which shares its name with the city of Treviso near Venice in Italy. But that really is where the similarity ends. Treviso in the mountains in Spain is nothing like the city. But I'll tell you more about that when we get there. On the way to Treviso, Richie took us on a side route he'd seen before on his sat-nav and thought a bit of exploring was in order. You've caught up with us now at a point when all was looking pretty easy. The tarmac was smooth, if a little narrow in places, and we were getting to see some parts of Spain that were well and truly off the beaten track. Then things took a bit of a turn when the sat-nav turned us off the main concrete road and onto the dirt. Dirt lane wasn't bad at this stage, but things did get slightly worse, and with Picos Paul on his VFR 800, it can't have been a lot of fun for him. But that bike really will just go anywhere, as you'll see later. The GoPro really doesn't do this hill justice. It really was steep, and because I'd left the bike in second gear, led to an embarrassing stall, which left a queue of riders all on the steepest part of the hill behind me. Sorry about that one, fellas. Stalling aside, some parts of this little detour were really great fun. Scenery was amazing, however none of us, including Richie, were entirely sure where we were going to end up, or how much more difficult it was likely to get. Still, we all carried on with the follow my leader regardless. It really did feel like a bit of an adventure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not far before we're back on the main road.
Well,
I know it's not ideal, but it's not bad, is it?
No, it's not bad. However, did you
tell my
find
ring piece that.
I mean, how would you find one?
Well, I know, but this is another thing. If this proves to be good, then it'll be in the future. But
Did you know it was like this?
no, this.
You're unplugged.
Oh yeah, and I've done it on purpose.
Oh, right.
It were acting up. No, like I said, the sat nav told me to turn left there, where it's normally a bit further on.
Listen, I can hear a cowbell. Is that Danny? Because he's put that cowbell on his bike, hasn't he? Listen. Oh, with it?
He's got a cowbell on his bike.
He bought a cowbell for his missus. I think it was cable tying on his bike yesterday.
All right.
All-terrain VFR.
Just Pete and Danny, is it? Danny up.
They get everywhere these things, don't they? Yeah? They get everywhere these things. Right, all-terrain VFR.
After everybody was back together, we set off again to find the end of the road. No one was complaining, even Paul, or should I say, especially Paul. He would definitely have had the most cause to complain. He was the only rider not on an adventure bike. Still, no one seemed to have told him that, so he just brought his Mancunian A game to the Picos and was determined to have a good time. And it was so worth it for the scenery and the views. Eventually, and to everyone's relief, we got back down to a village at the end of the trail, and finishing off with a fist bump from one of the locals made it just that little bit more special. Leaving everyone else enjoying a coffee in the valley, I headed up the road towards Traviso on my own so that I could get set up with a camera further up the mountain and get photos of everyone as they came through with the mountains in the background. packing my camera away and riding to catch everyone else up after they'd come through, I saw Peter and Martin coming back down the mountain towards me. Had someone forgotten to pay for the coffee again?
Overheated, so I think there's still some down there. So we're going to go back down. You want to go up, we'll catch back up.
But no, apparently Paul's all-terrain VFR had overheated for some reason. Not surprising really, so they were going back down to assist. I thought not all of the riders had come through when I was up there taking photos. This is the CA1, otherwise known as the only road into and out of Treviso. It also has a reputation of being one of the most dangerous roads in Spain. I'm not sure I completely agree with that assessment, given some of the other roads we've already been on, but it is one of the many roads that is demanding to ride, given the amount of blind bends and steep drop-offs. You certainly have to have your wits about you and concentrate hard on this road. Traviso dates back to the Middle Ages when it was part of the Kingdom of Asturias. It was the site of a battle between the Asturians and the Moors in 722 AD, which marked the beginning of the Reconquista. It was granted a charter by King Alfonso X of Castile in 1270, which gave some privileges and autonomy. It was involved in the War of the Spanish Succession 1701 to 1714 and the Peninsular War 1808 to 1814 when it resisted the French invasion. It has a unique cheese called queso piquant, which is made from a mixture of cow, sheep and goat's milk and has a strong flavour and smell. It is connected to the rest of the valley by the steep and narrow road which was built in the 20th century and is considered one of the most dangerous in Spain. It really does feel like one of the most remote places here in the Picos. After lunch in Treviso, we headed back the way we'd come, turning off into the dirt road just after the village of Sotres. This is a well-known hiking route known as the Cabañas de la Vegas, but is better known to most cyclists as part of the Trans-European Trail, or TET. The route from the Sotres side is the most challenging and technical and is the place where I ended up getting into a lot of trouble with wild bad gas last year and dropping my bike. If you want an easier route up there, go to the village of Espinarma on the road to Fuente D and the cable car. This lower part of the trail, when you first get onto it from Sotres, is the easiest part, but be warned, when you get to the derelict buildings, after that it does get far more technical and challenging. You're also better off doing it with a mate, especially if you're riding a big adventure bike, because they are extremely difficult to pick up on this kind of surface. And if you get into trouble up there and you're on your own, you could be waiting a hell of a long time before someone else comes along to give you a hand to get your bike up. And is it really fair to expect them to help you? This point here is as far as you can go on the decent trail. As you can see ahead, it starts to climb, and then it goes through some pinch points through the rocks, and it just gets more and more technical after that. The rubble shale on the floor just becomes so slippery and difficult to get any traction. Just maintaining a steady speed is the only real way to get through it. I certainly don't have the skills for that, and this was another time when I just chickened out. I went the long way round and met up with the guys up at Fuente D later on in the afternoon. It was hot and sticky, and the thought of dropping my bike up there yet again and having to fight to get it upright and just get up a mountain, that wasn't for me. And just being sensible in this sort of situation is vital. I would have been reliant on my mates here helping me get my bike off the floor, and it's certainly not fair on them to expect them to help me. However, in better news, I've now rectified the sound issue. So myself and some of the other guys headed back to the road to take the long route back to Fuente D. Okay, so we didn't get to see the views at the top of the climb, but neither did any of us get into any trouble. The track will still be there next year, and like I said before, the route up from Espinama is less technical and ultimately much more achievable, even for those less well gifted with the off-road skills.
It's nice to be moving, get some breeze through you. So we all rode to the bit more or less where we got to last year, but it's I mean, Pete and Pete were saying that, you know, if you have some ability you will get through. Momentum is the key, but I ain't feeling it. I ain't feeling that, I'm afraid. I just ain't got the skills. Ain't got the skills. Ain't had enough off-road experience. It's just, I just can't be bothered with it. You know, in this heat, if it was a cooler day and you wouldn't mind, you know, picking your bike up a dozen times or trying to turn it round when you got stuck, basically. When you've lost momentum, you've bogged down and you've got stuck, then fine. But it's too hot to be wrestling with a big heavy adventure bike. I'm melting just standing there, just standing on the bike now. You know, I'm melting. It's 29 degrees. I think the Africa Twin, well, I mean, the Africa Twin is a much better bike for doing this, you know, 21-inch front wheel, and it just is. This does feel harder in this terrain. Quite enjoy this bit. Once you get your off-road legs, I quite enjoy this, but the rest of it up there, it's just not for me. Excellent. Good. good fun coming up that bit, isn't it?
Yeah, that bit's alright, isn't it?
Yeah.
A little bit of fun. Yeah, it's not... I ain't doing the... Not today. My chest is still too fucked, really. We'll get stuck or we won't get fucking breathe properly.
In this heat as well, it's just miserable trying to get up there.
Yeah.
You know, having to pick your bike up 2 or 3 times.
Smash something on it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fuck that.
Oh god, it's f***ing hot. Bloody 30 degrees and I've got Gore-Tex on. Unreal. $33 degrees today. Bloody melting. It's 5 to 4. Lovely river, look at that. Could do with a paddle. Oh, I'd like to strip down to my pants and just go and get in there. Take no prisoners. You know, got that wrong. That was far tighter than I thought it was going to be.
We don't go back now, do we?
We're going up to the cable car now. Because the other side where they come down, it's just down from the cable car. So we'll go past where it is. I'll point out where it is when we go past it. That's where we go up, but we'll carry on going straight up to the cable car. I think that's where Jay's going now.
Yeah.
It's 35 degrees now.
Yeah.
I suppose, being as we've been here for almost a week, it's a good time to tell you a little bit about Potes, the place where we've been staying. So Potes was founded in the 8th century by Alfonso of Asturias and appeared for the first time in a document in 847. In the 10th century, Potes became an administrative centre of the Camarca and Libana, a historic region with its own culture and identity. In the 14th century, Potes was a domain of the Infante Tello, son of King Alfonso XI of Castile, who brought a relic of the true cross to the town. In the 15th century, Potes belonged to the Marquis Santillana and his descendants, the Dukes of the Infantado, who built the Torre di Infantado, a tower that is now the town hall and a museum. In the 17th century, Potes saw the rise of wealthy merchant families such as Orijon de Lama, who built their own tower houses and mansions. In the modern age, Potes remained a place of manorialism, where the Duke of Infantado appointed its mayor. Many villages emigrated to America and brought back riches that allowed the construction of notable buildings in the village. Today, Potes is a popular tourist destination known for its historic quarter, its natural beauty and its festivals, such as the Arujo Festival, which celebrates a local liquor made from grape skins. Clear. Thank for that. I was going to be saying clear for the rest of the day. Hooray! I'm actually vlogging. We're actually vlogging. So I made a bit of an error this morning. I didn't. I picked up the wrong power bank that I was using. I've got two. They look identical. One's slightly bigger than the other one, and for some reason, last night I packed the wrong one in the pannier, ready to come home. Chucked the other one in my jacket pocket in haste. You know what it's like when you're throwing everything in because it's late at night and you just need to get everything sorted, ready for coming home again. So when I plugged the camera in this morning into the power bank, there was no bloody power in it. We stopped for coffee just a wee way back there, and I managed to dig it out of the pannier. But then when we got back on the bikes, I plugged it into the power bank and the camera wouldn't come on. So I thought I was going to have to then wait for the next stop to take the camera apart, take the battery out, put it back in again to reset the camera. But I've just done a full reset, 2-finger reset on it, and it's come back on. So this is the first bit of vlogging I'm doing today. We've gone through, well, basically we're going back to port. I think it's more or less the same way that we came out of port and went to Potes. So if you play day one's video back and sort of reverse the clip, then that's more or less what we did, really. So it's really hot today. It's 25 degrees now. It's been up as high as 31 already. So we left Potes at 10 o'clock. It is now 1:05. We've been going for 3 hours 17 minutes and we've done 71 miles. So that sort of tells you the roads, the kind of roads that we've been riding on again. It has been stunning. It's been stunning. I think everybody's been struggling a bit having the panniers back on the bike, having, you know, a few days of just blasting around these twisties on a bike with no panniers, not weighed down with anything, and then you throw everything back on again, and I think everybody was feeling it coming up the first climb. So yeah, it's I don't know how much further it's going to take to get to port. If you go direct, I think it's only about 92 miles from Santander to Potes.
said today's ride would be about 5 hours heading back up there. So yeah, right, well, that's about all I've got to say up to now. It's been a cracking time, as you will know from the previous videos. I just love it here. We were just saying earlier that if we won the lottery, and I think any of us, if we won the lottery, we'd buy somewhere out here and just keep coming out here all year, have a bike out here. And the way of life, the people, the food, I would happily live here. Anyway, I'm going to shut up for a bit. We'll do some more miles, and I will check back in with you shortly. Well, or longly, maybe. Who knows? I'll check back in with you in a bit, either way. There's a road all the way up there. Is that where we went earlier? You know, when we came, did we go? Were we up there? Just wondering whether this is the same route.
This is the start of Portillo de Lunada, a high mountain pass set in the Cordillera Cantabrica, a mountain range in the northern part of the country, at an elevation of 1,360 metres above sea level, located on the boundary of Cantabria and Castile and Leon.
Oh jeez, look at that.
The pass has been in use since the Roman times, and most likely long before the Romans ever arrived in Spain for moving cattle from Mazate to Cantabria. The road to the summit is also known as Portillo de Hoz. The road, although paved, is in poor condition in some places, and if you're afraid of heights, stay well away from the edge, as it's a long way down in places. That said, the view from the top is spectacular and not to be missed.
Cantabria. Wow, look at that view.
The pass is also the origin of the Miera River, one of the main rivers of Cantabria.
Look at that view through there. Just the mountains are way off into the distance. Absolutely stunning. Beautiful, isn't it, that? I love the way the haze in the middle makes the mountains further away just paler and paler. Nice cool breeze around you. It's nice, isn't it? So Jason and I have had some real problems with our Cardo Pack Talk, so we're just on together, we're not in the rest of the group. But the signal to both of our Cardos is just really poor, really poor. And we're not sure what it is that's causing it, and I think the only thing that we can put it down to is interference from the Cardo Edge, which is what most of the people are on here. I think it's probably that's somehow interfering with our signal. Even when Jason was just sat behind me earlier, you know, there's no distance between us really. No, I've never known issues like we've had here this time. You get a little bit of breakup of signal from time to time, and someone has to repeat what they've just said, but it's just absolutely constant. So if anybody can shed some light on that for us, let us know. Is it interference from the edge units? Is that what's causing it? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you. In other news, so we were walking back from our last meal out last night, and I was walking along having a conversation with Rich, and who else was there? Anyway, 1 minute I was standing up talking, the next minute I was looking up at the sky because I just fell off the curb, basically. Slipped, well, it didn't slip off the edge of the curb, it wasn't the curb edge, it was, you know, where it dips to let cars cross the curb. We'd just gone down one of those, and then the actual gutter stone was sticking up a bit high, and I caught I just went over on my ankle just there, and I went down so fast, it was unbelievable, really quickly, and landed on my right side. So I've exacerbated my shoulder injury from earlier in the year, so my shoulder's aching like mad now, and my dodgy hip, which is also on my right side, that is aching like Billy-O as well. So I've been in the wars a bit. It didn't hurt at all last night when I fell down. So yeah, we will get to the ferry around, well, I mean, we've got to be there for check-in around 5. I think we're going to get there earlier, and then we set sail around 6. So when we get to the ferry, that's where I will sign off this little holiday in the Pyrenees with Richie Vida and the Wild Bad team. It's been excellent, it's been so much fun. Great bunch of guys. Thank you so much for your company this week, guys. It's been excellent, really enjoyed it. Tried killing myself a couple of times, but you know, not an adventure if you don't try killing yourself at least a couple of times, is it? Yeah, but thanks guys, you've been absolutely brilliant. I've loved this time away. Hope you've enjoyed it too. 36 degrees. Yeah, I definitely would prefer it cool. Even if I brought my summer kit, I would still prefer it cooler than this. Cloud here as well. About the first we've seen, isn't it, since we've been here, apart from the little white wispy ones that you see once in a blue moon.
Don't forget your first kiss, we were so damn high.
The organisation at the port for loading the ferry seemed a little bit chaotic and took forever. Eventually we all got boarded, found our cabins and got fed and watered. I hope you've enjoyed this little series of videos. If you have, please give me a like and a subscribe. Don't forget the photos at the end, and I'll see you in the next video.
First love, we were young and wild, we were up all night.